So, hi, this is Jen from Solarte, and I've been working on some exercises that you can do at home with your kids. The first one that I'm going to show is one that's appropriate for really young kids, as young as 3 years old, but it's also very helpful for kids who are older. Like for a lot of the kids in our classes, this is review, and review is always very, very good. So another thing to keep in mind about the game that we're about to play is you don't have to be wearing special workout clothes. You can just be wearing your regular day-to-day clothes. But you do want to make sure that there's a little bit of pushing and pulling. You never have to go to the ground, but you might want to do this on a place where you have like a cushy rug, where there aren't, hard edge pieces of furniture that you're going to run into. Or even better, if you have a yard, you can go out and do this in the yard. So the first exercise that we like to do is to teach people what it's like, to teach kids what it's like when somebody tries to pull you. You want to have what we call good structure. So if I don't want to get pulled but my arm is extended and then he pulls, I'm going to go very easily. So this is one of those things where I like to show what the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. Not so much in a right or wrong way, but more like feeling what seems to feel better. So if you ask them, like, do you want to get pulled? And then your arm is stretched out, then yeah, when you pull, you're going to move very easily. And what's also good is if they do it to you, so you can also feel, and they can feel what it's like when you extend your arm and the arm is outstretched and you pull. It's very easy, even though he's a lot bigger than me. And then the difference between that and acting like you've super glued the upper part of your arm to your ribs. It doesn't have to literally be right on the ribs, but there's this sense that you're pulling your upper arm to your body, so this is all one unit. So feel the difference between arm extended and pull, and then super glue that upper arm. Nice strong structure, and then I pull, and you'll notice that he doesn't go as easily. So that's the first mini game that you can play, and then we keep adding on to it. Now another thing that keeps you from getting pulled is if your feet are very close together, you don't have very good base. So even though I have my arm close to my body, my base is really, really narrow. My feet are close together. So what you do is, let's see what it's like when your feet are close together and you pull. I still go really easily. And then you can have them do it to you. Look at that narrow base and pull. It's super easy. So that's the first exercise, which teaches how you use structure, which is the arrangement of your arms and legs, depending on what you want to do. The next thing teaches you about base, which is the ability to apply or absorb force without just falling over. So I call this the get low game, because once again, I'm going to keep my structure really tight and tight to my body, but when he pulls, I'm going to drop my base really low. All right, now you can even do this with the eyes closed, so that they have to feel like you're starting to pull, and then you have to get low. Now when I do this, I'm actually in a very good squatting position. I'm not tippy-toed and leaning forward. That's a really important detail, because a lot of people use their quads, and you can see my toes. It's very easy to pull me forward. So even if I'm low, if I'm on my toes, I'll just go. So you can add this stage by stage, the arm, and then getting low. And you can check them. If they're on their toes, they're going to go. The other common error is that they'll lean way far back to keep you from pulling them. So if they do that, yes, this is why you need some room in a place without sharp furniture. You let go, and they'll find that, ooh, I was just leaning back. I wasn't actually getting low. So that's the other thing you have to check. Tipping forward, and then leaning too far back. And then the last thing that you want to check for, and you can actually have them do each of these things incorrectly, is have them be on their tippy toes, and then they can feel like, oh, I'm still going to go. And then you can be on your tippy toes, and oh, he's still going to go. Then they can lean back on their heels, and you let go, and you can catch them so they don't just fall. And the last thing is another thing that little kids really like to do is they'll just sit really low so they're on the ground, and then you can just stand over them. So that probably didn't work that great either. So try each one of those things with this Get Low game, and they'll learn a lot about having good base so that they're nice and strong. This is where they want to be able to end up at the end of this game without tipping forward, without falling back, and without going so far down that you have to deal with someone looming over you. All right? So if you have any questions about how this game works, please feel free to contact me, and we'll be adding on a little bit more to the game with each subsequent video.